This video is explaining the concept of a type of tool that is checking if components of a certain type are standard parts, and if so, is generating the production data for these parts and is exporting the production data to system drawings that have representations of the standard part and tables for the production data. Detailing time is always an issue. Quality is also an issue. A client asked us what could be done to reduce detailing time and improve quality, and we decided to use this approach. Our goal is to catch about 90% of all parts as standard parts and get their production data automatically. And so far we made standard part tools for gratings, kick plates, shim plates and handrails, and we plan to make tools also for ladders and stairs. The tools always have two parts, a check part and an export part, because in between checking and exporting the positioning has to be done. Working on such a tool, what you do first is you look into projects, you gather data, then you structure the data, you try to decide what kind of subtypes you need for the parts, and the subtype, usually a subtype is defined by the representation of the part in the system drawing and the structure of the table. So for instance, a straight kick plate would need a different system drawing than a kick plate that has an edge and consists of two parts. So the structure of the part is an aspect, an issue. Also the distribution of the subtypes. You should use the subtypes first that are used most, to reach the 90%. And also complexity is an issue. You should use the subtypes first that are the least complex. Luckily, in most cases, the complex subtypes are also the rare ones. Then after that's decided, what kind of subtypes you like to use, you have to find and define the rules that define the standard parts. I'll show the tool for kick plates. We have the check part. We need to select the parts on screen that need to get checked. We get a message that tells us what has been done. Kick plates of subtype 150 mm and 150 mm refers to the section used, got checked. And we have a list of color error codes here that tell us that the red kick plates are okay and the other ones are not standard part. And the colors help the user to see or to detect what might be wrong, why a part is not a standard part, and maybe fix it. We are convinced that the users will try to change their detailing habits, that they will try to create as many standard parts as possible and concentrate the complexity on a couple of, let's say, ordinary parts that have to get detailed. So the advantage of the tool is there. It's saving a lot of detailing time and it's guaranteeing quality. The parts that are standard parts, they get marked. I'll show that here. They get an entry in the node 2 of the group properties, and here the entry says standard part STP kick plate 150 mm and subtype 0. After the checking of the parts, the positioning can be done. And we think that the positioning tool that's used should either use mark the standard parts, so it should use for instance a prefix for the standard parts, or it should use an own type of position number for the standard parts. The client that's using that tool, his company standard is that every group has its own drawing and that the The number of this drawing is reflecting the group position number. And we said that we would keep the structure, and we decided that all parts that are of a specific subtype and therefore will be represented in a specific system drawing, they will get the same position, the same base position number, and then they will get a number that's an index, and that's the index of the part in the system drawing. If we look at the parts here, this one for instance, they are positioned. This one has the position number 1678-14, or this one has the position number 1678-22. So all kick plates of subtype 0 have the base part 1678. After the positioning is done, the export could be done, and here also we have to select the parts that we want to export. We have to use the position number, and there has a project number in this case has to exist. We select the parts, and what the tool is doing first, it's rechecking the parts if they are standard parts, and if need be, it's editing the entry in node 1. Then the tool is checking if all the standard parts have a standard part group position number, base part and extension, and if all the ordinary parts have an ordinary group position number, and also if the standard parts that have the same base part of the position number are of the same subtype. Because mixing subtypes on a system drawing, that's not allowed, that's not possible. And if that's okay, if the position numbers are okay, you can continue. The tool is generating the production data, the tool is copying a template, and it's exporting the production data into the table of the system drawing. If need be, it's creating a couple of copies of the system drawing, so you have several sheets if maybe you have a couple of hundreds kick plates. Please have a look at our webpage if you'd like to have more information. There are videos of all standard part tools that we made so far. Also, there's contact information if you'd like to get in touch with us.